I'll tell you a very creepy story. Never try this at home. In Auckland, on the outskirts of the city, there lived a lonely woman named Anna. Her heart was full of sorrow and longing after the death of her beloved husband, James. Anna could not forgive herself for not being able to save him in a car accident several years ago. One day, in an attempt to find solace and connection with James, Anna heard about an ancient ritual that allowed the spirits of the dead to be summoned. She decided to try it so she could see James again and apologize for her guilt. In the evening, in complete silence, Anna lit a candle and began to repeat mysterious words from an ancient book of sorcery. Freezing with tension, she continued to repeat the words, hoping to hear James' voice or see his ghostly presence. Gradually, an unpleasant atmosphere began to reign in the room. The furniture creaked alarmingly, and the candlelight began to flicker unpredictably. Anna felt a cold breeze coming through the cracks, as if the spirits of the past were coming to life around her. Suddenly, the candle went out and the room was plunged into darkness. Anna's heart skipped a beat when she heard footsteps approaching. She closed her eyes, but they didn't stop. Fear gripped her more and more. Suddenly, a voice familiar to Anna sounded in the room. It was James' voice, but it sounded distorted and ominous. He said her name, causing her to shiver and tremble. "Anna, why are you calling me from the world of the dead? You have violated the natural order, and now you will have to pay the price." Anna screamed in fear and tried to run, but her legs refused to obey. James' voice grew louder and filled the room. He warned Anna that she would now be cursed and haunted by the spirits of the dead for the rest of her days. James turned away from Anna and something strange began to happen to his body. It was as if his bones were breaking. There was silence in the room, but when James turned, a creepy woman from the world of the dead appeared instead. She said, "I will punish you, Anna." Please note that the following story may contain material that may not be suitable for some readers. Please continue listening at your own risk. A woman named Simone was successful in her career, and therefore she often returned home late at night. One day, after a long day at work, Simone returned home feeling very tired. Simone washed herself and got ready for bed. But suddenly, the front door swung open by itself. The woman got scared and tried to close the door faster. There was something strange in the air, as if an ominous shadow was hovering around her. But Simone decided that it was an ordinary wind that opened the door, and that fatigue was simply playing with her imagination. But Simone began to feel some anxiety. She heard footsteps and creaks, as if someone was hiding inside the house. But when Simone turned around to check, no one was there. The heart began to beat rhythmically when Simone decided to go to bed. She tried to find information in the news. Suddenly, someone had escaped from prison. But there was no news. Simone locked all the doors in the room. But someone was definitely in the house. The floors creaked and steps were heard. Suddenly, she saw a terrible figure near the door of her room, and the key with which she closed the door was lying on the floor. Simone was very scared and didn't know what to do. She heard strange sounds coming from under the bed and decided to take a photo. But when she saw the photo, Simone was shocked. She saw an ominous, ghostly image of a young girl in the photo. The ghost slowly crawled out from under the bed, his black eyes sparkling with anger and thirst for revenge. Simone tried to scream, but no sound came out of her throat. She watched helplessly as the ghost slowly approached. In the last moments of her life, Simone felt a freezing cold and a sharp sting piercing her chest. In the morning, The sun rose over the quiet suburb, but there was dead silence in Simone's house. The ghost of the girl disappeared without a trace, leaving only mysterious questions and fear in the hearts of those who learned about what happened in this house. My friend Johnny told me this story. This is my best friend, and I trust him. After this, I never rent a place. Let's move on to history. I was renting a house in Arizona and found a box of things in the closet. It contained various things and a camera. The camera immediately attracted me. It was antique. I wanted to take a photo. I pointed the camera at the table and saw a strange girl sitting at the table. I was scared and thought that I had imagined it. Suddenly, it was a hallucination. But when I pointed the camera at the table again, I saw that the girl had moved to another chair. I was afraid. Until that moment, I didn't believe in ghosts, but this house changed my mind. Every time I looked through the camera, I saw the girl's ghost. She was approaching me. I felt very afraid. My legs refused to run. The girl's ghost became more and more aggressive. Perhaps this camera belonged to her before, and the ghost did not like that I took it. I started listening to strange sounds, like someone's bones were being broken. But when I looked back at the camera, I saw that the girl was standing right in front of me. She said, "Take a picture of me." In the morning, the owner of the house found me. I lay unconscious. He asked what happened, and I told him about the girl. The owner of the house was named Bob. He confirmed that his daughter died in this house 3 years ago. She was a photographer and didn't like it when people touched her camera. And I'll tell you new horror stories.